Hello guys, welcome back to Open Eyes. Today we are here with Jonathan Krietemeyer. Did I say that right? Krietemeyer. Anyways, I can't pronounce it anyway. Alright, so today we're going to talk about freedom of speech. So, what are your views on freedom of speech? Do you think there should be any limitations on it? Or do you think that the people are going too far by restricting the freedom of speech today?
I mean, freedom of speech is a very broad issue. Lots of things you can mention. I think a society needs to be able, people need to be able to express how they feel, express their thoughts, and I think restricting that has many potential problems. You know, if you can't express yourself, it's very degrading as a human to live.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, obviously we need to protect, people's feelings.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
We can't have people being openly attacked.
Yeah, like it's not okay to say go murder this person or go assault.
You can't have people shut down death threats left and right.
Exactly.
You can't have people getting bullied and intimidated. But at the same time, people need to be able to express how they feel.
Yeah.
And that may offend people in some occasions, which is unfortunate, but it's the way how things are.
Now, do you feel like a lot of people get offended way too easily, and that we should actually make them understand that they cannot get offended at every little thing?
I think, especially in the 21st century, I think there's a feeling that people are very with the rise in bullying awareness, and, which is a good thing on the whole. There's this idea that people can't offend you in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
And as a result, people are so easily worked up and so easily offended. And I think that's an unfortunate thing because...
Yeah, because people get offended if you assume their gender. If you call a transgender person he or she, they get offended. No, I'm there, I'm a here, or I'm a zeta or a theta, or whatever the new trend is nowadays. So do you think that's fair for them to do?
I mean, I think you can get... There's one thing getting offended, and there's another thing explaining how you feel. You know what I mean? So rather than getting offended, I think it's better if you express, if you don't like what somebody's saying to you, express why that's the case, and hopefully they can show some respect and treat you how you wish to be treated.
Yeah.
But you can only go so far. And
Now social media is obviously a huge part of our lives as a youth, right? And and the social media do pose some restrictions on freedom of speech. Like you can't bully someone, you can't harass someone on the internet, for example, Facebook or Twitter. Yeah. Now this has recently caused, not recently, but about a year ago now, with Milo Yiannopoulos. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. So he was essentially banned from Twitter because he made some, let's just say, mean comments towards Leslie Jones, calling her a gorilla and stuff. Now, do you think that it was right on Twitter's part to ban him?
Well, Twitter's the company. They create the app. They have the right to do whatever they so wish to do with their app. I think there needs to be if they're going to be banning people, they need to be very clear be consistent with that.
Yeah.
As opposed to banning Milo because Milo is a radical alt-right guy. You can't just ban him because of that. Because I think the thing is, there's so many accounts that will be trolling people, that will be offending people.
Yeah.
Twitter will only generally ban accounts. I mean, I suppose they ban accounts all the time, but you only ever hear about it if it is of a celebrity or somebody who's in.
Yeah, but as a celebrity, also you are bound to get no attention.
Yes.
On that stuff.
You've got to know as a celebrity. You can't. What you say.
You do have a little bit of influence on a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was right on Twitter's part to ban Milo because of some comments that he made. Right. I think although they were in a mean spirit, although I do not think that anyone should be treated like that, I don't think it caused any major harm towards Leslie Jones. And also, it has to be kept in mind that this Twitter ban happened during the time that Ghostbusters, Leslie Jones's latest film, was being released and it was tanking in the box office. So many people say that Leslie Jones did that as publicity stunt by getting offended by what Milo had to say. Do you think that might be the case?
I obviously don't know. I don't know Leslie Jones personally, but you know, everywhere throughout life, people do things to get the attention. I mean, especially in this 21st century social media age, attention is like what people crave. People want attention. People want followers. People want the likes. They don't necessarily, you know, care how they get that. They just that's what people crave. And I mean, you know, you don't know her intentions. Maybe she did get offended, but if that's, you know, if she got offended, that's unfortunate. Does that mean? I mean, Twitter has the right to ban Milo if they so wish to, but it sort of looks like you can also see it from the perspective as Twitter's banning Milo because they don't like Milo.
And now with this new rise of the millennials and the youth, a huge argument put forth by the alternative right, or almost all the right at this point, is that their views and opinions are being silenced. The media is generally pandering to the left. Now, do you find that to be true?
Yeah, I think obviously there seems the majority of media is tilted somewhat to the left. Same with probably academia as well. Tilted somewhat to the left. I think views on the right aren't overly. I don't think they still get traction. They still get people speak about it. But people from the left, when they speak about it, like you see it on the news, like you know, there's the late night shows in America.
Yeah.
Obviously very slanted to the left.
Definitely, 100%.
When they talk about topics from the right or what people from the right have to say, they seem to have a continual trend of mocking them.
Yeah.
And like just making them look really, really stupid and trying to like offend them. Which I think, you know, from a group of people that claim to be all about like equality and stuff like that, like it seems slightly hypocritical to me.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, here's my point. Look, I am not for silencing any opinions. I feel like freedom of speech is very important, and it's important that people get to express the ideas that they want. But what the late night shows I think they're doing is that they're putting it in the context of comedy.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it as a joke, it's different. If you actually genuinely mean it, it's a completely different issue. Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, because if I'm going, oh, John, you're so stupid, right? And if I do this as a joke, I hope you won't get as offended as I actually seriously mean it and say that, oh, you're a stupid idiot. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And now, coming to limitations, where do you think we should draw the line?
Where should we draw the line?
Yeah, but like, what do you think should be appropriate? What do you think should not be appropriate? And should it be decided by all the people, or should it be decided by a group of people?
Well, it's difficult because in terms of, I think people obviously need to be able to have like the freedom to express their thoughts and express their views. But at the same time, you don't want people going out of their way to offend people and taunt people.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to set legislation.
Absolutely.
And because every case is like different. Like it's in terms of freedom of speech. I think context is very, very important. And the unfortunate thing about legislation, it's very hard to set legislation with context in mind.
Exactly.
And I think as a result, I think there's not really much the state should do because they don't have they can't. There's no fixed rules applied to it that you can implement time and time after again. But you know, I think we need to be mindful as to what, making sure people don't go out of their way to deliberately cause offense and harm to people, but at the same time need to be able to express how they feel.
Yeah. Now, coming back to social media, do you feel like social media sites such as Facebook and Twitter and other like social media sites like Google Plus or Pinterest, they have an obligation to inculcate freedom of speech in their environment, or do you think that they can impose their own restrictions and promote certain viewpoints?
I think because they're a business, they're a corporation themselves, they can do whatever they so choose. I think it'd be good if they were transparent about how they felt.
Yeah.
Especially I think Facebook and Twitter, because they're such a big
they're absolutely huge.
They need to be somewhat lenient to both sides, and they can't be totally for, totally against.
Yeah.
But obviously Facebook has their own views, Twitter has their own views, and they'll probably try and push them through their platforms.
Yeah. And now in Australia, recently there was this issue of the postal vote for same-sex marriage and people voting yes or no. Now, a lot of the no camp has gone out to state that they feel like they have been silenced. They feel like government news channels aren't promoting the no camp ads and are only promoting yes camp ads. Do you think that it is fair for news channels which are tax funded to do that?
I think if they're tax funded, like the ABC, SBS, I think they have to be impartial on this view, because it's still out to vote. So they have to be impartial. Like they can't pick a side yet.
Yeah.
As a result, I think ABC, SBS shouldn't be able to have ads either way.
Okay. Yeah.
Because people need to be able to, make up their own opinions for themselves. And I think if you have ads either way, you're trying to manipulate people already. And I think you should just leave it till after the postal vote before you start putting ads on. As for the non-taxpayer funded ones, it's probably in their ballpark as to what they want to do.
Yeah. The main issue is for the channels like SBS, who have particularly gone on to say that we are going to promote these yes camp ads, but we are absolutely banning any no camp ads from our channel.
Yeah, I think because people are still in the process of deciding, you should not try and convince them anyway just yet. Once there's an outcome, then we'll see what happens. But at the moment, because we're in this sort of 56 days or whatever from the announcement, you have people still got the right to make up their mind. And I don't think it's right for the taxpayer-funded
news
channels to be putting out ads to try and manipulate the people who fund the
Now, coming to the topic of hate speech. Now, hate speech is a topic which has been on fire for a long time at this point, and it's essentially speech which particularly targets a race, gender, or a group of certain minorities, and puts them down, makes them feel demeaned, and all that stuff. Now, do you feel like, as part of freedom of speech, that hate speech should be, cut out from the freedom of speech spectrum? That it should be, you can't say hate speech, you can't make hate speech.
The thing with hate speech is it's a very vague term. There's no specifically as what is hate speech exactly. And unfortunately, that makes it very hard.
Yeah.
Because you can't have people going out and attacking a certain minority or whatever.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be going on. But where does the line from saying a statement about what you feel cross over into hate speech? And I think that's a very hard thing to determine. And even when it does, how do we best respond to that? Because are you going to jail people on their views, or are you going to try and educate them? Where do you go?
I see your point.
It's very complex, because if you jail someone for 1 or 2 years or whatever for hate speech or whatever, they're going to come out of jail. Their views probably aren't going to have changed.
Yeah, that is true.
And what have you really achieved other than sending them away for it? But I mean, you said that most.
Yeah, for example, right? If someone today comes out and says, "Oh, I don't like black people. That is my personal opinion. I think white people are better than black people."
Yeah.
Right? Would you consider this hate speech?
I don't think that's. I think that's obviously can be interpreted as very hateful and very demeaning and very offensive.
Yeah.
But unless they deliberately go out their way to say it in a way that's intended to hate, it's not really hate speech. I think a lot of people say that hate is like if it's hate speech if people get offended, right?
Mm.
But the way I kind of see it is it's only really hate if you're deliberately trying to hate, you know?
Yeah.
Like it sort of comes back to the intentions of the person who's saying whatever they're saying. But then that's very hard to determine what they're actually truly trying to get at.
Yeah. And now, Canada recently, I don't know if this has been passed or not, but Canada recently introduced a legislation called Article C16, which essentially said that if you misgender someone, for example, if you call a transgender person who is a biological male but identifies as a she, a he, then you can be put to the justice system and be incriminated for that. Now, do you feel like this is a infringement on freedom of speech, or do you think this is a fair move?
I think this is a tough issue, obviously. But I think if you're like people doing it accidentally or whatever, if it gets to a case where that's being penalised, and that's way too extreme. But if people are deliberately, using the opposite gender pronoun in order to like offend that person or make fun of that person or whatever, then there needs to be some sort of scope. Whether that's to like deal with that, how you do that legally, I'm not sure of the answer. It's like.
Yeah, but like, okay.
It's easy to charge people on their actions, the physical actions. Words are very hard to sort of
incriminate them according to their speech, the way they speak. Yeah, and I absolutely get that, but I find this kind of legislation especially absurd because in the past, people have told us what not to say. Like you can't scream fire in a crowded building. You can't say this in this situation. But now what these people are saying is that what kind of government, large majority is saying is that you have to say this. You see the difference?
Yeah. I think that's a good observation or distinction or whatever. But yeah, it's obviously, I don't really know. I think personally, I don't think it's a big issue. I don't think there needs to be legislation brought in for it. But if that's how.
And you're forcing someone to do it. If you're forcing a certain group of people who don't want to
do something,
want to identify someone as a he, even if they're a biological female, then I kind of feel like it's their right to do so. Like they're not personally hurting anyone. No. They're not doing anything. And if people who are transgender don't feel comfortable with that, they can not interact with that person. Obviously, it's a different issue when they are forced to interact with that person if they're at wars or something. And I feel like, yes, that does have some implications there. But putting it out to the general public, I do not feel like this is the right move. This is good government legislation and a government body. Anyways, this has been a good discussion with Jonathan. What's the last name? Jonathan. Yeah, that. Where can our viewers catch you?
Follow me on Instagram at LAJP_ and on Twitter at Leonka.
Yeah. Follow him on there. As always, like, share, comment this video, and subscribe to the channel as every YouTube channel says nowadays. And we will see you guys next time.
Oh my neck is numb.
How long was it?